almost Valentine's Day. I know it's kind of early, but your girl's been feeling the love lately.
Ow!
Sorry! Welcome back to Thalias Cakes, and today we're making a giant chocolate dipped strawberry cake. If this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Thalia, and if you love cake decorating and baking, you might want to consider hitting that subscribe button. Oh, and before we get started, I wanted to mention that this is a Valentine's Day collaboration with Rosie's Dessert Spot, Little Cherry Cake, Cupping Cake, and The Lovely Baker. They all made step-by-step cake tutorials, so make sure to go check their videos out at the end of this video, and the links are posted in the description box. Now let's get started. First thing I started with was my buttercream. I put a couple of strawberries inside a blender so that way I can make a strawberry juice. Then I put the strawberry juice through a sifter so that way it can catch all the strawberry seeds. If this is gonna look like a strawberry, it better taste like a strawberry. Now I can mix this until well combined. The amount of strawberries you will need for this all depends on how much buttercream you actually have. So I just kind of kept adding in strawberries until it was to my liking. So I already baked and leveled the cakes, and now I'm going to fill and stack the cakes with the strawberry buttercream. But then I started to think, wait a minute, girl, you should be adding chocolate to this. I mean, it's a chocolate dipped strawberry, for God's sake. So I drizzled some of that chocolate ganache on top of that strawberry buttercream. Hopefully I shaved. Yes, I did. Okay, let's continue. So I drizzled some chocolate ganache on top of the strawberry buttercream. Altogether, I stacked 7 8-inch cake layers. So I gave this cake a crumb coat. Why? I really don't know, because it was honestly a waste because I carved it all off. So don't even bother doing that. I mean, you could give it a crumb coat, but it doesn't have to be as thick. I put this cake in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes to harden up. After 30 minutes, I'm going to take the cake back out and start by carving off a little bit off the sides so that way I can lay it flat. And make sure you're cutting down slowly so it comes out straight. Here I'm placing the cake onto another cake board, laying it down. Did you know you're my very first Valentine?
Aww. Why are you lying to me?
I'm not lying to you.
See?
And this is what he got me. He didn't get me anything spectacular because we was just talking. So he just had to play it safe and get me a $2 bill. I get it.
$2.
How much was it? $5, $10.
I ain't done getting a high school salary.
Didn't you sneak this into my locker?
Yes.
Right? To start the carving process, you're gonna want to cut a slant kind of near the middle, but a little over towards the end. The piece that you just saw me cut off, I'm going to place that to the side because I'm going to use that for later. Just a tip, if you're ever carving a cake, don't ever throw away the scraps. Because you never know, that piece might be the perfect piece that you need to be able to fill in a gap in the cake. Here at this part, you can start shaping your cake into a strawberry. I cut off some more off of the sides and I started to round out the bottom. And as you can see here, I'm using a strawberry picture to look at while I carve because it helps a lot. Actually, one of my subscribers requested a giant strawberry cake. So you're welcome. But I don't know who you are. So if that was you, leave a comment down below. I want to know. And I also rounded out the top part of the strawberry as well. Once I was happy with the shape, I used a small paring knife and trimmed off any little bumps to just smooth it out. I'm applying some ganache to the side of the cake so that way I can add on the cake scrap that I trimmed off earlier in the video. I'm using this to create the point of the strawberry. As you can see, there's a small gap, So I made a little bit of cake pop dough with the scraps and I placed it underneath. Alright, so this year I'm going to try something a little different. I do have a lot of cake requests from you guys. So I already wrote them. I'm going to drop them all in here. I don't have a lot, but I have a few. And I'm going to shake them up in the hat and pick one. And whichever one I pick, I'm going to make. This is the only kind of hats we have in this house. Alright, ready? Got one. Cheerleader. The person who requested this was Queen Miracle Love. So stay tuned for this one. It won't be the next tutorial, but it's coming soon. So stay tuned. Now I can give the cake a crumb coat. Also, make sure to carve out a hole where the stem will go. Now that that's finished, I'm going to place it into the refrigerator for about 30 minutes and then take it back out to give it its final coat. So I needed something to smooth out the ganache, and I didn't have any poster board, so I kept looking around the house and then I found it. The container where I put my ornaments in, it was like this cheap flimsy, you know, whatever it came in when I bought it. And I cut out a piece of that plastic and I used it as a smoother. And it works so good because you can just wash it and use it again. So there you go, DIY girl. If you don't have it, you gotta make it. You already know, you already know, you already know. Make sure when smoothing it out, you do this very slow and gently and clean off the plastic every so often. I wanted to transfer the cake onto a nicer cake board after placing on the fondant. So I used an X-Acto knife and I cut as close as possible to cut out the shape. Now I can start covering the cake with fondant. I used white fondant to cover half of the strawberry, and then I used red fondant to cover the top part of the strawberry. I didn't have enough red fondant, so that's why I did it this way. And plus, the only red part you're gonna see of the strawberry is the top part, because the white part is only gonna get covered in brown fondant anyways. When rolling out the red fondant, make sure that it's the same thickness as the white fondant, so that it matches up together. Now I'm going to use my X-Acto knife to cut off the excess fondant from the sides and from the top. To close the little gap, I use a fondant smoother to push them together. Kinda looks like a Pokemon egg, right? Using this fondant tool, I'm going to make the little indents where the seeds go on a strawberry. And when you do the indents, make sure it's like a brick pattern. You know what I mean? Because you don't want them all lining up perfectly together. And then I'm going to add 5 million of these seeds all over the strawberry. For the leaves, I used green fondant mixed in Thalias powder. If you don't know what Thalias powder is, all it does is harden up the fondant and it turns it more like a gum paste. I made myself a paper template and traced out 4 of these leaves with my X-Acto knife. I gave the leaves some texture using this fondant tool. Then I used gum paste glue to glue on the leaves onto the strawberry. I wanted the leaves to look a little bit more realistic, so I curved and twisted some of them. For the stem, I rolled it into a slant log shape and formed out the bottom of it. And then I glued in a lollipop stick. I decided I didn't want the stem to be so long, so I shortened it out and left it overnight to dry. Now I can brush on some water onto the white fondant and add on the brown fondant for the chocolate. This reminds me of when I used to work at Gertrude Hall. Oh my God. I really miss it. Their chocolate is so creamy and silky and delicious. Their milk chocolate, their dark chocolate, their white chocolate is all delicious. I will be leaving the link to their website down below so you can check them out. I believe they're actually having a 50% off sale. So check that out because they're selling chocolates. What are they selling? And I'm taking my pizza cutter and cutting off the excess fondant. When trimming off the top, I made sure it was covering over onto the red fondant so that way I can make this wavy cut. Now I can add on the pink drizzle. To make the drizzle, I used pink fondant and placed it inside my clay extruder and placed the strip on using water. And last but not least, I brushed on some piping gel to make the strawberry look more realistic. And there you have it, a giant chocolate covered strawberry cake. This cake definitely makes it on my top favorites. It looks so real. Honestly, I'm super proud of myself. I would like to see this cake recreated by one of you guys, so tag me on my Instagram or Facebook, please. I'd love to see what you come out with. Here and there, I always get asked, girl, what do you do with all them cakes? Like, that's so much cake. So what I do with them is that I donate them. I donate them to the Marines here on the military base where I live. And when I'm not donating cakes to them, I'm donating them to children with critical illnesses through Icing Smiles. And if that's something that interests you, I will be leaving their website down below in the description box so you can get more info. Go taste it, let me know what you think. Why are you eating it like it's bleh?
Delicious.
Let's see, this has been in the refrigerator for about like a week now. It was better the first day.
Am I done?
Yes, you can go back to work and get out of here. Question: what do you enjoy the most about being a cake artist? I will be leaving my answer down below in the comments. Let's talk about it. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and hit that notification bell so that way you're notified every time I upload a new video. If you're new here, make sure to hit that circle button right over here to subscribe to my channel for more fun cake tutorials like these. And don't you dare forget to go show some love and watch their part of the collaboration. The links to these videos are down in the description box. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.